It also depends on what the other player is picking. If they pick a level 1 move and you pick a level 2, the chances are that their level 1 is going to succeed, and yours will automatically fail. You don't generally have both moves succeed. Although there's a thing called a Mexican standoff, where either both wrestlers miss with their moves or they both succeed. I'm not sure. It might be both. And basically the wrestlers stand around and don't do anything for a couple of minutes, and the commentators will say, "Oh, it's a Mexican standoff. Nobody can get their move in," and it's essentially pointless. But that did happen in wrestling, kind of frequently. So I guess it was authentic. It just is really kind of a waste of time play-wise. Anyway, those do 4 damage. Your finisher, the leg drop for Hogan, the flying elbow drop for Randy Savage. Pretty sure these do 6 damage, which I think is really low. I think they should do 8 or more. My guess is these probably have about a 30% chance of success if you pick them just out of the box, without having built up momentum or whatever these tracks are. And especially if you choose one of these and your opponent chooses one of these easier ones, it's really likely that he's going to succeed and you're going to fail. Now, like I said, if you've got him hurt enough and you have enough energy, then yours can still, your finisher may still go off and you may use it, but you really do have to wait until they're worn down, which is, that's authentic for wrestling. That's genuine. Below that is the block, which I feel is, although it does add an extra option and a bit of strategy, it's pretty unremarkable, because all it does is, instead of using a move, you select it, and if you succeed, which it's probably about like your level 1 moves, it's probably got a 80% chance, or maybe not that, because I never had much luck with it, so it might be like 60%. But it will, if you succeed with it, you'll use it. The other player's move won't succeed, or whatever, they won't get their chance. Your move is block, which is, it'll show footage of your wrestler blocking. He'll counter a wrist lock or dodge a punch or something, and it gives you 2 damage back. It removes 2 damage, gives you 2 of your health bars back. That's, I don't know, to me, you might as well pick a move up here and actually do the damage to the other player, rather than pick this, which I think is harder to do than these here, and remove 2 from yourself. Theoretically, you could use this as a defensive strategy and maybe even make a comeback by reducing your damage really far down to almost being fresh and ready again. But that would really be boring. You would just keep blocking. And there's also, I don't know if I read it in the manual or if I figured it out, but there's like a 3 strikes you're out rule. It's possible to use the same move 3 times in a row. It's not likely, just from the sheer chance that this engine runs on. But if you use a move 3 times in a row, the next time if you try it, it automatically is going to fail. And in fact, it probably builds up from the first move. When you try the move the second time, it probably already has a penalty against it, success. And the third time is probably another penalty, which makes it really unlikely. But if you still manage to do it, the next time it's definitely, you're not going to do it. So, the block, I'm pretty sure works like that too, so I doubt you can just keep blocking. As long as you pretty sure as long as you break it up among your moves, that there's not really any penalties. And I'm pretty sure that the more damage you've given your opponent and the more energy you have yourself, the more bonuses to your chance for success with these moves you get, which would make these really easy to do if you've got your opponent pretty hurt. And even your level 2 moves, which really look good, they're going to be much more likely to go off. And the leg drop, of course, that's what you want to finish the match, because there aren't any pins except for your finisher. You can't just notice the lack of pin as an option. No moves give you a pin attempt except for your finisher. There just is no way to do it. Let me continue the match here. And here it goes. See the wrestlers, the computer's selecting for both wrestlers. I've got it playing against itself in demo mode. Savage went for the double chop. There you go, top rope, right on the back of Hogan's neck. And there's Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura doing their commentary down here. Sometimes that's Bruno Sammartino. So you use the selector band to go through your list. Ooh, a vicious stomp. You go through your list and you hit enter, or it depends on your control setup. You could use joysticks or a mouse or the keyboard, and if both players use the keyboard, then one will use the cursor keys, I believe, or at least the number pad. The other will have to use letters, like I think like the standard AS or WS, the stuff you usually use in computer first-person shooters to move up and down, back and forth. And see, the one thing I like, and I think is part of the reasoning for this level 2 and level 1. Ooh, good double chop again. Is the moves on level 2, just they're more impressive. These are your power moves. They do 4 damage, and they just look better. The frames are better. I see here he's going for a block, but it didn't work. Oh yeah, it did. See there, he threw Savage off. Nice block. See, it reduced his damage. Savage has taken no damage though, so that's not good for Hogan. I'm kind of surprised. Savage is doing really well in this one. There's the head smash by Hogan. And these frames are repeated randomly. Sometimes the head smash just happens once, sometimes 3 times, sometimes 4. And some of the other moves are like that you could chain together, so to speak. I'm not sure about the computer, the AI. I'm not sure if it just randomly picks things. Ooh, double axe handle outside, even though Hogan was not outside in the last move. That's another gripe I have with this program, is there's no status. There's no positioning for the wrestlers. There's no standing or down outside the ring, no climbing on the turnbuckles. Everything's built into the moves themselves and the visuals, which is fine, I guess. For this time, it still seems like they could have had a much more sophisticated engine.